Alright, hello folks. First thing I want to do before this video kicks off, I want to apologize with how amateurish I am at this, so I'm very sorry. So please comment anyways and make fun of me about how big of a dork I am, or maybe, how serious I look. I'm not trying to do it, but when I get lost in thought, sometimes I do that, but I'm a complete amateur. Doesn't mean I don't make good products or don't shoot well, but I'm an amateur. So bear that in mind as we go forward. Thank you. Alright folks, welcome to AR Accuracy, my channel. Just trying to put out another video, so I can have some presence out there. I want to discuss a couple things real quick. The AR that I have, I avoided it for a long time because, when I was in the Marine Corps, I used M16s. I had enough of that, and once I got out of the Marine Corps, I really wasn't that interested in M16s. Or ARs rather, I apologize for the civilian market. And they just didn't really interest me, so I avoided them for a long time. I've been out for quite a while. And I noticed the teams started shooting, competitive teams like the Marine Corps Rifle Team, U.S. Marksmanship Unit, or the Army Marksmanship Unit. They started shooting M16s or ARs, whatever, and with fantastic results. So I pondered that for a little while, actually for years, and just recently, me and my cousin Mike, which you start following my channel and start watching my videos, you'll get to know Mike pretty well. He's like my brother. I grew up with him. Wonderful guy, good human being, and ridiculously knowledgeable when it comes to machining. I haven't seen him not be able to take on a project. He does it with ease. He's very knowledgeable. You'll see, that's later videos, but we started kicking around getting an AR. And finally, I just pulled the trigger. I went to Bear Creek Arsenal, which, please, do that. Wonderful products. This is the one I started out with, 16.5-inch barrel. I just like the look of it, with the way the handguard came all the way down. That I know that's silly. That's why I bought the thing, because of the looks of it. But I just like the way it looked. Took it out, started shooting it. Just bought some cheap Federal ammo, started shooting it. It was fun. I forgot how fun it was just to go out. Wasn't really trying to be super precise. Long range wasn't a thing with this rifle. It functioned very well. It shot well enough. But as is most things in my life, I kind of prefer precision, which is what I'm going to get into. After this, my cousin got one, cousin Mike, and we started tinkering with these things. The next evolution was the 450 Bushmaster. So I shoot 223 out of this one, and I can't remember if this is a wild chambering from Bear Creek or not. My other rifle that I can't show you right now, the one I actually use for long range, which it is long range, the load I came up with, which is this one. This one's shoots a 73 grain ELDM. This one is mag length. Mike has played around with some 80 grain and I think 77 grain bullets out of his. But we have a 24-inch barrel, stainless steel. I think we got them from Midway USA is where we got them. They were inexpensive. We thought, we can make them work. If they don't shoot to our liking, we can modify them. Mike has a lathe and a mill, and he builds rifles. Which he did. He modified his. Which later I'll let him describe how he modified his. But after getting this 24-inch barrel, I Loctited it into the receiver, and I did a couple other things. I put a shroud on the bolt carrier assembly, which I can show you that. I'll show you that later. Did a couple other things, and something weird happened. It would shoot half-inch group at 100 yards. It'd shoot a half-inch group after I came up with a load that, according to the chronograph, was pretty consistent. But it would shoot a half-inch group, then another one to back it up, and all of a sudden it'd shoot 4 within half an inch, and then one would be out, you know, make it an inch group or an inch and a quarter group. And I just thought that was weird, you know, because I thought I did the right things. I shrouded the BCA, I Loctited the barrel extension into the receiver, you know, so there shouldn't be flex, shouldn't be movement. And the more I thought about it, I was like, there has to be something around it. So I came up with something with the whole rifle system, which I will be introducing once I get it patented. It has proven itself. It works on rifles like this. It works on varmint length systems. It'll work on something like this, the 450 Bushmaster, which I obviously don't have glass on this one. I just run this, I think it's a reflex sight. I forget where I got it. It worked well, worked great for me this deer season. It works great. My system will also allow you to add elevation or subtract elevation without touching your glass. It's pretty interesting. So I just wanted to you know, the purpose of this video was to give you an idea what I got going on here. And then while you watch my videos, my 24-inch, it's more of a long range, or it's a varmint rifle. Like I said, I'm not going to show it because it has my system in place, and you know, that would kind of give it away before I'm actually protected with a patent. And then I'm going to introduce the other rifles that you'll be seeing, watching my videos, or hearing, depending on what's going on. We're going to be shooting, you know, at all different ranges, you know, close range, at a little place, you know, fast shooting, or we'll be shooting, like the first video I posted, I think it was 571 yards. It's out in this cornfield. And the max range, which I didn't video that day because this camera that I have right now wouldn't zoom in on it well enough, but it was I think it was 900 even that day. I think if we really try and get an angle across the fields, I think we can get real close to 1,000 where we're shooting right now without going all the way out to Rainier's, which, by the way, if you live in the state of Ohio, I really recommend Rainier's. And for those of you, I feel badly that I haven't made it out to Tom's range, which that's Thunder Valley. I'd really like to go out there and shoot at his range as well. You know, he has, for goodness sakes, he has what is it? It's a normal, you know, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has all these targets set up out to 1,000, and then he has a mile range. A mile, which I have a rifle, which I'm going to show here in a little bit, that I'm going to be trying out there. I think I'm going to try the mile range out at Tom's place, but I think it's Sarver, Tom Sarver, you know, another Marine. Alright, this is the one I'm going to be taking out to Tom's range. We've already taken it to a range here that's relatively local. It's about an hour from me in Ohio, out past Zanesville, called Rainier's. Wonderful place. Awesome place to shoot. The owner is fantastic. So, anyways, back to this. This rig right here, it's nothing special. I'll go over a couple of the things, because like I said, if you're watching my videos, you will be seeing and or hearing this freak show. I call this thing, I'm kind of a dork, so you'll learn that if you watch my videos. I'm kind of goofy. But I call this thing the Warhammer. This is what it shoots right here. This is a 338 Lapua. It's a Savage 110 with the McMillan stock. I put a wrap on it back here, which I'll go over that later. If anyone's curious, you know, just put it in the comments how this works right here. It's veterinary tape, like for horses, and I wrapped a piece of foam. Anyways, I'll get into that later. The optics I have on it, the glass. This is a Vortex Viper PS2. It's a Gen 2. Can't recommend this thing enough. This thing is phenomenal. I mean, awesome. And then I put the Vortex rings on it. I've got the Vortex bubble. And I think, I don't know why, I think that it was really sunny one day and I put the shade on here. Normally I don't run a shade, but I did for that day. And if you notice, this barrel, this club, is what it really is. It's not really a barrel, it's a club. This is a 28 inch, it's stainless, obviously, because I'm not going to run a barrel in the white, but Magowan. I could not be happier. Once again, I'm going to endorse Magowan. I haven't tried a bunch of barrels, but this Magowan barrel, extremely satisfied with it. This thing, when we were breaking it in, me and Mike, I shot a couple groups. I mean, the first shots out of the thing, without trying, it half MOA, right? Out of the factory barrel, it's a lot thinner, and you get 4 shots almost, in about a ½ inch, and then you get one that'd open it up to a 3/4 inch group, which that's fine. Or you get 3 shots almost in the same hole, and then the next 2 shots would open it up to either a ½ inch or a 5/8, you know what I'm saying. This barrel right here, with the load I came up with, which I run H1000 powder at this time. I was running Reloader 33, wonderful velocities. I got to a point where I was scared because I really wasn't getting pressure signs, and the thing was pushing some heavy velocities. 285 grain Hornady ELDM, that's the projectile I shoot out of it. It's a Lapua brass, and I run the CCI match primers in it. Just not for nothing, that's just what it is. The bipod, if you can see that, which I'll get a close-up on it later, it is a Frankenstein. I took a Harris bipod and cut it up and then made a bracket for it and sat it out to the side, so the center line of my bipod, as the legs come up, the apex is up here, not like a normal bipod, which the apex is down here closer to your stock. So the angle of those legs come up and they intersect up here somewhere. It's a lot more stable, which I'll point the rifle at you so you can get an idea what it looks like. It kind of looks funny, works very well though. So the machine work for the barrel, I had Mike made this muzzle brake, which Mike kind of has a following with pistol shooters, actually across the nation as far as I know. He makes fantastic brakes. This thing, which I'll show you my 308 next, but this thing recoils less than my 308. It recoils less than my 308, which is ridiculous. Anyways, I'll go on to the 308 now. Alright, and this is my 308. Once again, I'm not a total fanboy of Savage, but it just happens to be what I have. This Savage, I forget where I got it. I think I got it at Cabela's. It was on sale. I kind of like the look of it. It has 24-inch barrel. It's not a bull barrel like the 338, but I think it's still almost 0.08 of an inch at the muzzle. It's a heavy barrel. Harris bipod. And then the glass on this is a Vortex. Once again, I'm not necessarily a Vortex fanboy, but this one really fit the bill what I wanted. It's a Vortex, it's the Diamondback. Once again, I can't recommend it enough. This piece of glass, for half the price of a PST, it's not going to take the abuse, but it has taken some abuse. It handles it just fine. The quality, once again, this isn't a Schmidt & Bender, this isn't a $5,000 piece of glass. If memory serves, it's down around $500, but it works very well. It tracks very well. Nice, very nice piece of glass. The Vortex, the side clamp rings on it, and an SME level bubble. I couldn't remember what it was. A Harris bipod. This one doesn't have the silly wings on it like my 338 does. I wasn't really planning on doing continuous 1,000 yards with this. If I let this be a 1,000-yard rig, which is kind of hard to do continuously and really well, especially if the conditions aren't good. As all of you know that have shot 308, you know, how I got this around, I shoot, you know, for 1,000 yards, how I got it to 1,000 yards. I have a bunch of Lapua brass for 308, which a friend of mine, you know, really don't want to put out names, but it's Rob Mango. He helped me get some 308 brass, Lapua 308. I used 168 grain Hornady ELDM, which is a phenomenal projectile, and this thing likes to eat these things up. It loves these bullets. Lapua brass, and then once again the CCI match primers. CCI primers have worked very well for me. I've tried some others. Mike's had luck with a lot of other primers. I really haven't. The CCIs though have been consistent performers for me. I really like them. Once again, this is about occasionally, if I do my job, it's a half MOA rifle all day long. Sometimes it'll surprise me and shoot almost, you know, a one whole group, which is nice. And then other times, you know, I've had it shoot many out of this load, close to 3/4 inch groups. So, but it's a consistent performer. I like this rig a lot. Once again, put the wrap on back here. If you have questions about it, just put it in the comments. I'll go over anything you want me to go over there. So, all right, the point of all this was, you know, I wanted to introduce some of the ARs. I apologize, I can't show the one I'm using for the long range shooting, but I don't have a patent on my system yet, and you'd be able to see, you know, from the action to the barrel what's going on, and someone might be able to do something with that, and I don't want that. So thank you for listening to me. I wanted to introduce all the rifles that you'll be seeing in my videos, seeing them in action. And this Sunday, which is in a couple days, or 2 days, this is Friday, this Sunday, I'm going to be going out with Mike. I think we're going to be shooting pistols, so hopefully you like that too. I think we're going to set up a little 10-inch gong, which that's what we shoot at the mid-ranges with the rifles. You know, the mid-range, by mid-range I mean like 500, 600, 700 yards. We shoot a AR-500 10-inch gong. And then at the longer ranges, I build I forget how tall it is. I think it's 23 inches tall and 15 inches wide. Looks like a silhouette target that we shoot at the long range. But anyways, going back, we're shooting the pistols, we're going to be shooting that gong. Mike's a Glock fan. I'm not. I appreciate them. They're wonderful pieces of machinery. Wonderful. I just never liked the way they look. I'm an old man now. I like 1911s. Always have. Don't know why. I just do. 1911. So I'll probably have one or two of the 1911s out there hitting that gong. So thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Please comment. I would really like that. And I'd like to be able to interact with you, answer questions. I've got a little bit of a knowledge base. I'm not as knowledgeable as, you know, some of the experts. I've worked with some real experts out there in the world. You know, when I was in the Marine Corps, there's some real meat eaters, some dudes that knew their stuff. I'm not one of those. I wasn't anything special, but I've got a pretty good knowledge base. So I'd like to share this, and then once I launch my product, I'd like to be able to interact with you folks. So until then, God bless America, and thank you for watching.